John here with Elton's Retirement Journey and Travel. First week of the new year in 2026, and I'm here with some brand new content. I'm challenging myself to make more content on things that are relative to a retiree, travel, and also attract young people. And today, I just came back from looking for an apartment. Yep, I pretended that I was looking for an apartment and I went over to a location here, not too far from where I live. I actually lived in one of the other developments there. It's Rosemont of Dunwoody here in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And of course, you can see I've been wearing these suits. One of the things with the suits is I am looking to see which ones that fit. And if they don't fit, there's some young people down at the stadium that I would offer these suits to. A lot of the young men, they don't have business suits. And also, going into a leasing office in a business suit, tie, sports jacket, anything except a hoodie, a throwback jersey, smelling like weed and all that kind of stuff. It sets you apart and they take you a little seriously. So let's just get into that. So the unit that I went to um, has access to a bus that will get you to the train station. That will be the North Springs station here in um, Sandy Springs, Georgia. And so I went in and I talked to the leasing manager, and she asked me, what were you looking for? Whether or not it was a one bedroom, if I needed a washer and dryer. And I told her, no, I don't need those appliances. I actually have enough clothes where I'll only wash once a month. That means all the underwear, t-shirts, pants, and everything once a month. When I was living in the same area, they have two developments um, on that campus, and I had lived there up until 2014 when I bought this condo. I would always wash once a month in the dark clothes and in the whites, and then I would dry them all together. And of course, you know me, I had that all in my spreadsheet, how many quarters I needed. But anyway, so it would have been the unit was 750 square feet, and it would have been on a lower level. So as a senior citizen, I'm not walking up all those stairs. So it would be on a lower level. And the rent for a 12-month lease is $1,256. And the other option is if I sign a 15-month lease for 15 months, it would be $1,075 for the 750 square foot lower level apartment, which had the same layout plan that I had before. And it had, I think it was white countertops, white cabinets, black appliances, and it had the vinyl floor. This one didn't have carpet in it like the unit I moved from. Um, and it had a $99 application fee that includes the administrative fee. It's a special. It would be a $200 deposit, or depending on your credit history, it could be up to 2 months rent. The requirement to move in here, so if we're at 1256, you must have income 3 times the rent. So we're looking at about 3,700 or more. And I think my position at Morgan Stanley would have covered that. So the amenities has a fee of $85, which includes trash, pest control, the insurance for the building, not the renter's insurance for your belongings. They also include a locker for Amazon to drop off packages in the pool. So that's additional $85 that has been added on since I stayed there. And you can't have no evictions on your record, and you don't want to have any recent bankruptcies. Bankruptcies stay on your record for 7 years. After that, they'll drop off. When I mentioned that I'm a retiree, that is when there was a major pause, and it was almost like she was texting somebody because she didn't have the answers right away. It was almost like they don't rent to retirees. But she did come back and say that you need to prove that you have the money to pay for this monthly expenses per the lease. So I would need to show a bank statement that says I have enough to cover the lease for an entire year. And I mentioned that I do have that. I just made a deposit into an online bank, and I have a secondary account which has money in that as well. Um, and I also asked about the after the lease is over with, what kind of increases can I expect? Because I'm looking at everybody complaining about they're getting these $500 increases on their new leases for their same apartment without anything being done and so forth. And she said, we haven't had any complaints about that. It's usually about $15. And I mentioned that if that was to happen, that would deplete all of my walking around money, and then I would be in trouble. So that is basically it. So kind of want to be mindful if you're a senior, you've got a nice home, you're sitting on a ton of equity, and you're getting pressured by real estate agents as well as other family members. Hey, grandma, why don't you just go ahead and sell this place and get you another apartment and blah blah blah, uprooting from where you're at. It may not be worth it because these expenses can change on you at any given point in time. So I thought I would bring this up because this could be helpful for someone who is moving down to the Atlanta area. And like I said, I am on the outskirts. I do have access to buses and a train. So if there was a couple, one of them worked further up um, north of my location, and the other person worked downtown, and you only have one car, this would actually work. So my name is John, and you're with me here in Elton's Retirement Journey and Travels. And I'm also the host of Retiring Club. I got a lot of great videos coming out this year. And I'm going to ask you to go ahead and like, subscribe. And if you got any comments or questions, please go ahead and leave them, and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks for watching.